Okay, so at approximately 4:30 this morning, I am sound asleep, and all of a sudden I hear this real heavy knocking on the front door, and I'm like, who could be here at 4:30 in the morning? And it turned out, I went to the front door, and it was the police. The sheriff deputy, he was wearing a brown uniform, that's how I know it was the sheriff, was knocking on our door, saying that there was an anhydrous ammonia leak and that we needed to evacuate for 2 hours, give or take 2 hours. And so Mom and I quickly got dressed and left the house. I tried to get the cat before we left, but I went to get her and she took off and I couldn't get her. So I was like, I can't. But we had to go. So I left. We shut all the doors, locked all the windows, blah blah blah, and left the house. We ended up going to the JC store parking lot in Edinburgh, and then we sat there for a while, and then we drove a little bit farther to Franklin to the CVS store, where we got some milk, chocolate, 2 things of chocolate milk, 1 for each of us. And then we decided, after listening to the radio, that we'd drive around some more and wait. So instead of just sitting there, we'd drive. So we decided to drive to Granny's old apartment, just to see how it was, and pass the time since we were up in that area, which was kind of, a little bit nostalgia. So we drove by it and looked at it for a real short time, and then we decided to drive by Granny's farm, because again, it's not too far out of the way. So we drove by it and saw how they had changed it, and a lot more land around it's being farmed. They used to think of it this way: they used to have this much land where the house and the driveways and the basketball court is, and then they had the farmland. Well, the area where the farmland is come in, because they're farming more, so the house and is basically all there is now. It's just the house, a little bit of land, and the basketball courts. Whereas they used to have a lot of grass. Now they've taken a lot of that grass on the area on the outside and used it for farming, so to maximize their farming potential, obviously. So we saw that. Then we decided to drive back to Edinburgh. So we drove back to Edinburgh, and we stopped and got some donuts at the JC store and a little bit more milk, because I was still thirsty. So we got 6 donuts, yeast donuts. They were very good. Gotta commend that. And then we turned on the radio, and eventually they said it was okay to go back. So about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'm thinking we got back about 9 o'clock, give or take. Now, the 2 people or 2 organizations I have to highly commend is the law enforcement people. I believe it's the Bartholomew County Sheriff's Department, because they were the ones that came around to each individual house and knocked on everybody's door. And it wasn't just like knock, knock, knock. It was like, make sure everybody gets out. Another group I need to commend is QMix 107.3, because that's the station I listen to on the radio. And they were coming on every song or two. They'd play 1 or 2 songs and then have an update on the situation, which was really good in this situation. They'd have somebody come on and tell you why they should leave and what the current situation or the status of the situation was. So when when it was safe to come back, we knew right away, or pretty close right away. So I've got to commend the staff, QMix 107.3, for helping update the public and making everybody aware of what's going on and why. And turns out, according to one report on the radio, that this whole situation, leaking of the anhydrous ammonia, I can say it, anhydrous ammonia, was due to some people trying to get some ammonia to make meth. They said they had 2 suspects that they believed were the cause. So what turns out to be the cause of this has yet to be seen, or is under investigation. So we'll probably find out later. But that was the situation this morning. Everybody in Taylorsville was supposed to evacuate. We did for several hours. And again, I got to thank QMix for doing a good job on the radio and the local law enforcement, because it was definitely a different way to wake up this morning. And, I mean, to my knowledge, everybody was safe and okay. They said on the radio they had 1 person that went to the hospital. I don't know who that is, but I'm sure they'll have a paper in the paper tomorrow big article about it. But that's all I have for now. So that's what happened today. Until next time, I'm Randall M. saying thanks for watching. Have a good day, and may God bless you. Bye.
I can breathe, I can breathe, I can breathe. I can breathe, I can breathe, I can breathe. I can breathe, I can breathe, I can breathe. Cause the wind blew the gas away. The wind blew the gas away.